Hi, my name is Tehillah from Niekerk. I'm 18. I'm with 33andMe Talent Agency. I do singing, acting, and modeling.
Tehillah, tell me a little bit more about how this journey came about. How did you, or who inspired you to become an artist of such diversity?
I was born into a family that always had lots and lots of music. And, growing up in a pastor's house, there's always all kinds of different people at your house, and you get influenced by a diversity of individuals. And at the end of the day, I got strongest in singing, I'd say, of the three. Eventually, someone at 33andMe, Keanu Hayes, scouted me, and I got through to the IATS at the end of the day.
Tell me a little bit about your journey with regards to your preparation for the actual audition. What went through your emotional state? What preparation did you have to do, and also how did you control the nerves on the day of the audition?
I'd say the most important thing for me was realizing that despite what a lot of my thoughts say, I am good enough. And if I've gotten to this point, there's at least something inside of me that says I'm competent. And so my emotions ranged from why am I here? I'm going to disappoint people, to there's a very good reason why I'm on stage. And that this is the next step to something massive in my life. And that's... Okay, on the day, I'll be honest, I was on the verge of just staying home, faking I'm completely sick, my parents don't have to take me at all, but I realized that would be more disappointing than getting on stage and ruining it completely. And I'm here now, and I'm very thankful.
The International Arts Talent Showcase is a huge platform with great excitement on the day, and a lot happens when an artist arrives at Silver Star Casino. Tell us a little bit more about that feeling when you arrived, seeing your fellow contestants, seeing fellow artists that you might have auditioned with, and the friends that you have made at the audition on that day, the familiar faces. What were some of the emotions that you had to deal with, and what was the most exciting thing of your IATS journey?
I think the number one thing I always felt was seeing who was there and who wasn't, with a feeling of pride. Because everyone who's there, well, they're from different backgrounds, but they're also talented and in different ways, and they've got these different personalities that fit together like a puzzle. And there are people that I met there that I still talk to today. We're planning to do projects today, and on the day, I didn't see that. I saw competition and I saw potential friends, but maybe they're just being nice for bad reasons. But ultimately it was pride at what my country could come up with, at what people that I don't even know can actually mean to me at the end of the day.
Being a part of the new millennial age era that we are in, how do you think the artists of today compare to artists years ago?
Wow. The artists of today have such a broad diversity of sources that they can get inspiration and teaching from. I think in today's age, how does the saying go? Being uneducated is being ignorant, because you have access to education and you have access to a lot, at least in a lot of the world, much more than it used to be. And maybe to some extent, previous generations were more resilient in the place they were put in, but that could be to their detriment sometimes, because it gives you a mindset that where I'm put now is where I'll end. And that doesn't always have to be the case, especially not today, not here.
With the challenges we faced last year as an agency, as an International Arts Talent Showcase, we had to revert to online auditions. How did you as an artist experience that new way of doing things, and not being physically auditioned in a room full of people, but on a platform that enabled you to still be able to do an audition, still be able to be granted opportunities. How did you embrace that online audition experience?
Well, that's tough because there were many times that our Wi-Fi just was gone, non-existent, and then you have to quickly set up your entire area in a different bedroom or in the living room, and you ask people to nicely leave just so that you can have this audition. And those mini inconveniences were actually so much fun. And the fact that you can spend before and after, that the camera's turned on or off, kind of on your own, maybe having a little mental breakdown, whatever's the case. You don't have access to that when you're surrounded by people. So that was a nice feature, honestly.
What obstacles did you have to overcome from the day that you realized this is what you want to do? What challenges did you face? What obstacles were put in your way? What hurdles did you have to overcome to enable you to be sitting on that couch today, being interviewed, and for going through a showcase, for just being the artist that you want to be?
The day I realized I wanted to be an artist was more of accumulation of feelings and of inspiration I've been hearing, confirmation from God, just saying, this is an incredibly big part of your life. And there are people that you're gonna touch, that I need you to touch through these talents. And when I realized that 33andMe could give me the opportunity to do that, I grabbed it by the horns. And it takes days of practice and sacrificing hours of sleep, homework, even sometimes bad friendships, where you realize people don't always want you to do the best that you can. They want you to stay suppressible. They want you to stay beatable. So those are major challenges to overcome, realizing for myself as well that, hey, I'm keeping myself back a lot of the time. And above and beyond that, there are lots of financial struggles. It's 2020, most of us are struggling with that. But it's so exciting to see the people who do care stand together for you and help you overcome those things to achieve what God needs you to.
Which team member has been the most influential person throughout this whole journey, and why?
Someone who was majorly influential in this journey was the guy who scouted me from 33andMe. His name is Keanu Hayes, and it wasn't the mere fact that he did scout me, but that I knew I could call him whenever I was confused, whenever I was nervous, even something as little as, should I wear this shirt or that one for castings? He was just a call away. And I think that's characteristic to any agents at 33andMe and the whole team here. They genuinely want you to do well. So the characteristics could easily be listed as open, generous, specifically with their time, and caring. They remember little things about you and they remember what you need help with and how.
I still remember I was actually backstage watching it on the big screen while Elspie was presenting in person the New York Film Academy scholarships, and they were calling everybody's names as Joey Zangadi Dixon from NIFA called the names of the artists that were invited at our annual talent showcase to go and study at such a prestige institution. And when they called your name, that expression on your face was priceless. I wish I can give you that transparency of what you looked like backstage at that moment. Tell us a little bit about how that specific moment changed your life, the plans of studying at NIFA, as well as that specific moment realizing that is only one Tehillah in the whole house that they were calling to get that scholarship.
The easiest way to summarize it was just shock. It's that moment of, me? Really? How did this come about? And you'd think that it'd be obvious, seeing as we put in so much effort to get there, but when that moment comes and you're kind of blanked out and you hear your number and name being called out, I think I tripped 3 times going up the stage. Honestly, I was my whole body was fighting against it. Is this me? Are you sure? Are you very sure? And I was smiling also out of reaction of my parents. I could see them in the audience and I could see them just wondering, what now? We went from Russia to Singapore to South Africa. Is it New York next? What now? So that's, combined with the laughter and the cheers of friends, is huge. It was great.
Being an artist that is still in school and also an artist in the industry, how do you juggle schoolwork, disciplining yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, to be diverse in both and still excel in both of your personal life, being a scholar, matric year, I think, yeah, being very demanding up until being an artist and preparation for New York in July, all of those type of things. So give us a little bit more about what goes on in Tehillah's balancing.
I'm a solid homeschooler, so since 2019 I had to work on being extremely disciplined, just chilling at home, but not chilling because it's school. Having IATS added to the mix was kind of like having 3 or 4 subjects in workload and in time dedication, but since the beginning my parents have raised us that way, that we kind of, if we commit to something it's 100%, if we commit to something it becomes a part of our life. That's what you breathe. You begin to eat and breathe your music and the acting and the modeling, even if that's not my primary focus. That being my mindset helped me to realize that this is not just 1 or 2 things, it's my lifestyle that's adapting, and that was great.
As a singer, what advice do you have for artists out there entering the industry as a singer? What are the most renowned characteristics for someone wanting to enter into this industry as a singer? What do you feel makes a great singer? What do they have to have in place? And what advice would you give them?
It's hard to give just one piece of advice. I mean, there's an infinite amount of things you could say, but if you don't know who you are, if you're not anchored, then whatever good thing comes your way is ultimately going to throw you off. Because it's getting you closer and closer to this high point from which you could fall if you're not anchored. And for me, that's my faith. For other people, that could be a part of knowing in who they are, having that identity. So as a singer, as any kind of artist, you have to know acutely who you are and express that in everything you do so that you can strengthen it.
All right, so as a singer in the industry, what are some of the technical preparation that you would give advice to artists out there, singers in particular, in preparation for any audition, any casting, anything that they enter into of this magnitude, or any other audition and platforms that they are looking at entering into? What advice or what are some of the technical tips that you would give them in preparation? And also, signing to any agency, what are the steps of looking for a reputable agency?
Okay, so no matter how talented or wonderful you are as an artist, repeat after me, you still have to be prepared, okay? You have to do your research, be that with the requirements of the competition you're entering, with the agency you're going to. These things are crucial. And if you're not disciplined about it, you will pay the price. You're gonna suffer, no one else is. So for example, for these competitions, if you know your brand, which you should, sing a song according to that brand. And cut it to the time that's needed, use a good background track. It's not that expensive to buy, but if all else fails, just cut it nicely from YouTube. We've had our fair share of horrible competition entering, and at the end of the day, you just wish that someone as talented as them would have had someone to be honest and say, guys, this doesn't work. So when it comes to your agency, do lots and lots of research, scope them out on every social media platform you can think of, and ask for other people's experience with them. Are they a scam? How much do they cost? How much will they charge you first, just on the first day? 33andMe is an excellent example of a very good agency, and I'm not being paid to say that. We're genuinely happy here, and they're transparent with their intentions with you. So be disciplined as an artist, regardless of how cool you think you are. The next huge thing, self-tape. Don't fool yourself. This is the way of the future for this industry. You need clean backgrounds, good lighting, a good camera, even just a decent iPhone or phone camera. You have to do your research and know your lines. It's not as simple as just winging it. It may seem inspirational and fun, but it doesn't fly when it comes to casting agencies. In fact, just a few minutes ago I was called by one of my agents and he was trying to give me feedback on my audition. I'm a little scared to see it, but it's okay. I trust that he would be honest and give me good advice, and that's just the kind of feedback you get at 33andMe. And at any good agency, they will treat you like someone they want to help grow.
Going to boot camp in literally a few days in preparation for IMTA, what is the most exciting thing you look forward to once you touch down in New York City when you attend IMTA 2021?
The most exciting thing has to be experiencing new cultures and weather and food. I love going overseas. We grew up overseas and South Africa is wonderfully diverse, but I do miss American culture. And I look forward to seeing everyone else's reactions and seeing people from all around the world, really talented, dedicated people who came this far, just like me. I so look forward to that. It's going to be an amazing experience, and boot camp is the next step to get us ready for that.
Awesome, thank you so much, Tehillah.